I'm going to talk about Russia and espionage. So, as people may or may not know about me, but I have studied the Russian language for years. I have a really good explanation to why I chose to study Russian. Now, it wasn't 100% like espionage, Russia, the war with Ukraine and Russia, and all of these TV shows portraying Russians as terrorists and spies. It wasn't, I'm going to study Russian because of that. There were many reasons. I considered everything. I considered the FBI. I mean, when there's a Russian teachers saying, hey, a good reason to learn Russian is because you might work for the FBI and investigate us Russians. Like, there's a Russian teacher on YouTube. Her name's Olga Gerald. She's a very good Russian teacher. And then she says, benefits of learning Russian. Like, this is when I just started learning Russian, right? This is just when I was like watching a few videos here and there. Just maybe I'll learn Russian, right? She's like, benefits of learning Russian. You might work for the FBI and then investigate us Russians. So when the Russians are admitting that Russian's a good language for that, but also I also studied Russian for business reasons, economic reasons, and money is the world. Money runs the world. Russians love money. In fact, as much as Russians complain about capitalism, Russians are the first one to try to profit off of, and get money, 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 money. That's what they care about, these people, is money. Okay. So, um, I didn't title this video as Erica Kirk, but I'm gonna about to talk about Erica Kirk, but I didn't title the video as Erica Kirk because I'm smart. So Erica Kirk, uh, I had suspicions about her, but I didn't say anything. I did not say anything. Then I saw the Nick Fuentes video where he totally called her out for being a scammer, etc. Well, he thinks he's a scam. He thinks she's a scammer. Now, let me say something in both defense of Erica Kirk and also, okay, yeah, something's going on here. In defense of Erica Kirk, this is a very strange, bizarre situation, right? The sociopath, the typical sociopath, usually because the sociopath knows what to do, would just start crying and crying and can't stand for day, cry, oh, can you bring more fruitcake? Like, oh, can we get more flour? Crying and crying, right? But this is not a normal situation. A person's husband being assassinated on live television is not a normal situation, especially when Erica Kirk is in the public eye. She's a public figure. People are expecting her to say something, right? So these people already are under a lot of stress, or these people already are under a lot of stress and pressure. So we can't expect Erica Kirk to just act like we expect her to act, like, oh, she's just gonna start crying and just act all sad and stuff like that for days and days and days and then never smile. She's never allowed to smile because, we can't just assume that. But at the same time, when I saw Nick Fuentes point out the fact that Erica Kirk has been sending people emails, oh, she's so sad. Hey, would you like to donate $5? Donate $5. That I was like, okay, Erica, okay, Nick Fuentes, you sold me on that one. But I did want to also say something in defense of Erica Kirk, because I do also believe this is an extraordinary situation. We don't know everything that goes on behind the scenes, and it's not easy to be in the public figure, to be a public figure, and then your husband gets assassinated. So, and keep in mind, Erica Kirk, she does also have this, oh, okay, she's going to continue on with the turning point. Of course, continuing on with Charlie Kirk's turning point is a great way to honor him. So if she really did love him, then making his turning point even more successful than it already was is honoring him. So I could see her, I could see why she's hustling. But like, when you're already worth 12 million and you're asking people, anyways. So let's get to the main thing that I want to talk about with regards to Mother Russia and the Russians. So I got a lot of wisdom from reading novels about espionage. I got a lot of wisdom from watching TV shows about espionage. You learn a lot of good wisdom from these TV shows. And these TV shows about Russian spies, they often are written by, like, they have writers on the staff, on the writing staff, who are former CIA, former FBI, former Russian spies themselves. So it's not like when someone says, "Oh, that's a TV show." Oh, that's a TV. I'm not, obviously there's fictional characters, but you learn stuff about wisdom and how they operate and their code language they use. You learn stuff from watching these shows, okay? You do learn. For example, I'll give you an example, right? So in one of the episodes, they say, "Is ignorance bliss? Is ignorance bliss? Is it better to just not know? Will your life be better by just not knowing, right? By just staying out of politics, by just I don't want to hear it, because there's people that could just be like, I'm not even going to turn on the news, even if there's like an asteroid about to hit planet Earth. I'm not even going to turn on the news. No, I'm not going to follow the politics. I'm not going to watch Candace Owens rag on the FBI, the American feds, right? Now, in an episode of The Americans, I'm referring specifically to The Americans, which is a great TV show about Russian spies posing as everyday Americans. And the TV show The Americans, there is a situation where the Russian spy seduced a. Oh, she wasn't even. Anyways, he seduced basically. Anyways, he seduced the. He seduced the. Okay, anyways, if you saw the Russian episode, if you saw the episode of The Americans I'm talking about, she had curly hair. She was blonde with curly hair. She was a female. Okay, I'll say her. She's a female. She was a girl, right? And she may have been, and the Russian spy, who's a creep, right? He was all on top of that, right? So I have to be careful how I word this. But if you saw the episode, you know what I'm talking about. So basically, he seduced a girl, this Russian spy. And now keep in mind, this is a girl who doesn't do politics, who doesn't, follow the Russia scandal, doesn't follow Russia, this and that. And sure enough, they even say in the episode, is ignorance bliss? She's ignorant, and look where she ended up. She was seduced by a Russian spy. So being ignorant doesn't keep you safe. It's better to know, okay? And let me say something very quickly also about misogyny. Because someone just came in my other live stream, and thought it was really odd that they said, don't accuse anyone of being homophobic when you're a misogynist. So two things struck me wrong, very wrong about that. First is I'm not a misogynist, and also I didn't accuse anyone in the live stream of being homophobic. So you had a woman, or I'm not assuming she's a woman. That would be pretty misogynist for me to assume it was a woman who's made that comment. It could have been man or a woman. See, I'm not a misogynist because I said it could be a man or a woman. A person came in and who had clearly has a hate towards people like me, homosexuals, and she immediately says, "Oh, like if you're gay bashed, if these guys beat you up, put you in the hospitals for 6 months." She's basically saying more or less, "Don't accuse people of being homophobic when you're a misogynist yourself." I didn't say anything misogynist. So, in fact, the only thing really I more or less said was I don't like Taylor Swift, but I didn't say I don't like. If I was a misogynist, I would have been. A misogynist would have said something like, "He doesn't like women. He doesn't like women." I didn't say I don't like women. I said I don't like Taylor Swift. There's a lot of good singers. There's a lot of nice women. There's a lot of good singers. Ariana Grande, Christina Aguilera, Carrie Underwood, Mariah Carey. They're all phenomenal singers. Celine Dion. I love Celine Dion. But I said I don't like Taylor Swift, and immediately this woman or man, whoever it was, started pouncing on me, saying, "Oh, don't accuse people being homophobic when you're a misogynist." Saying you don't like Taylor Swift doesn't make you a misogynist. Okay? So there's this whole hate campaign going on right now. And right now, there's who is running these campaigns? Russia. Russia has all of these bots. Russia has all of these operatives, these agents, very sneaky agents, right? There's Russian operatives that will tell you they're secret agents. Like the Russians will do anything to get the job done. And so let's look at three motivations here for Mother Russia. The first motivation is money. They want to collect as much money as possible. That's what they want to do. As much as the Russians complain about capitalism, the Russians want to make themselves all rich and everyone else poor. The second motivation that the Russians do is pure chaos. They're causing chaos. They like seeing people fight. They like seeing Americans at each other's throats. Okay? And then the third reason is espionage. Very specifically, when everyone else is distracted It's so much easier for the Russians to sneak in and get the information that they want. I do have a theory right now that with this whole Charlie Kirk assassination, Russian agents are currently pouncing at certain opportunities to get very specific, classified American military information, and especially, China. Of course, China is also pouncing on this. So all of this controversy with Charlie Kirk and Candace Owens, and this big whole event with this, the memorial and Erica Kirk. Keep vigilant. People should keep vigilant because right now the Russians would be stupid not to use this opportunity to say, "Hey, everyone's distracted. Americans are distracted. They're all about to go to civil war, and while the Americans are at civil war with each other, the Russians can go in and like it's gonna be so much easier to hack and get American military secrets, right?" And China has the same idea, and probably even Canada too, where I'm from. So I want to just remind people that when you're all like, and of course, this is a valid, researching and finding the real assassin of Charlie Kirk. This is, of course, important. But while you're distracted with this, don't forget to keep your guard up and watch people around you and watch out for Russian spies, watch out for Chinese spies. Because this is a perfect opportunity when people are distracted, when people are at each other's throats, when you have the gay side versus when and then women are after the gay side, then they have liberals versus Democrats and this and that, and they have black and then the white and the Latino, right? When they have all of these people at each other's throats and everyone's distracted, this is the perfect opportunity for Russians and Chinese spies and Iranian spies and Canadian spies, Cuban spies to go in and get information. Okay? They all do all of these phishing attacks, right? Those Erica Kirk emails, in fact, could have been phishing attacks as well. The Erica Kirk emails where, because a lot of times too, it might not even have been Erica Kirk that was sending you those emails. How do you know for sure it was Erica Kirk? When Nick Fuentes showed the email that allegedly Erica Kirk was sending out, where allegedly, or he talked about the email where she was saying, "Oh, she's so sad. She's so sad. Hey, would you like to donate $5?" Right? The grifting kind of emails. When Nick Fuentes pointed those emails out, keep in mind, there's also a lot of copycats. There's people who could be copycatting Erica Kirk, pretending to be her, phishing, sending out phishing emails, etc. So America right now is extremely vulnerable to phishing attacks, to all types of attacks, because of they're distracted, because everyone is distracted over the Charlie Kirk Candace Owens fiasco. And I quickly want to, and keep in mind, I didn't title this video or this live stream. I didn't title, I'm really talking right now. This is not a loop. This is not a recorded video. I'm really talking live right now. This is live. That's why you're going to hear imperfections in my voice. You're going to hear me, because I'm just talking live. I'm just talking from years of experience watching the Russians. Candace Owens, she brought up something interesting the other day. She voluntarily volunteered information where she said, it kind of bugged her when she heard that people were saying that maybe her marriage is fake. Maybe she's not even like, maybe she's a Russian spy, whatever like that. It kind of bugged her, kind of gnawed at her a bit. I will say about Candace Owens that I don't think she's a Russian spy. I don't think she's working for Russia. I do think she's really married to her husband. Her husband is gorgeous, and why not be married to him? He's very gorgeous and good looking. The husband, the British guy. So I do think the marriage is real. I don't think she's a Russian spy. But what I will say about this, and keep in mind, I'm a person who has defended Candace Owens. I'm a person who has done many videos in support of Candace Owens because I like the fact that she's making the American police. She's exposing the feds. She's exposing the American feds for how corrupt they are, how evil and corrupt the American feds are. She's exposing these people. So thank you, Candace Owens, for that. But at the same time, let me say, because just to be fair, as much as I can, promote Candace Owens and say I like her, I'm not gonna. She's not a perfect person, and I will call her out on the stuff that I don't like. And what I don't like right now Is, Candace Owens says, oh, Charlie Kirk was her friend, and Charlie Kirk, and that's why she's gonna move, heaven and earth to find the real assassin. Okay, Candace Owens, and the fact that if it were not the fact, if it were not for the fact that Candace Owens was using this opportunity to expose how stupid the American government is, what a bunch of liars they are, especially the American police. If it weren't for the fact that Candace Owens was doing that, then honestly, I'd be like, oh, okay, Candace Owens, you didn't care when the police attacked me, when the Ohio police attacked me as part of a hate crime. They attacked me, they tasered me, they beat me, they stole my money. Hey, Candace Owens, you didn't care. In fact, there were black and white cops. There were black cops, black Ohio cops, and white cops, and they beat me and tortured me in Ohio prison. And Candace Owens, you didn't care that they did that to me. But because Charlie Kirk was your friend, your grifting friend, suddenly now everyone has to drop everything they're doing and demand that they find the real assassin of Charlie Kirk. Hey, Candace Owens, you didn't care when my grandmother died from an incompetent Canadian doctor who was an alcoholic. You didn't care when my grandmother died. I didn't see anyone raising funds or nothing or trying to help my grandmother, nothing like that. Especially when I had said it several times that my grandmother died from an incompetent doctor. It was medical malpractice, and the doctor was drunk, and he botched the breast cancer surgery, and nobody cared. Nobody cared. Nobody launched an investigation into this doctor, this drunk alcoholic Canadian doctor who murdered my grandmother. Nobody cared. But Candace Owens, oh, your best friend, your bestie, who your grifting buddy that you grifted all together. Oh, he's been assassinated, so we must care. We must, the whole world, Germany, Australia, Mexico, Japan, Iran, the Middle East. We all must care about Candace Owens' friend. But Candace Owens didn't care about my grandmother. Candace Owens didn't drop everything and try to find those Ohio cops, the identities of the Ohio cops that beat the crap out of me and put me in the hospital in Ohio for several months, and then had the audacity to charge me with false charges. Candace Owens, and they tasered me too, which could have given me a heart attack. I could have permanent heart problems because they tasered me. Candace Owens didn't care about that. Candace Owens didn't care about my grandmother. And it's not just me. It's everyone. There's Australians that are murdered every day. There's Germans that are murdered. There's British people that are murdered. There's Venezuelans and Cubans and Canadians and Iranians and the Middle East, And Candace Owens, like, there's all of these people every day being murdered. And Candace Owens, you're not, like, helping them. So you're picking and choosing your battles, which I understand. Listen, Candace Owens, I agree with you. You can't help everyone. You don't have the time and resources to help everyone. So let me just say, Candace Owens, that if it were not for the fact that you were using this opportunity very intelligently to expose the United States government for the lying, the pieces of crap that they are, for that fact, I support you, Candace Owens. But I also, as a Canadian, a homosexual Canadian, I don't just care about gay people. That's not the case. And I don't like people coming in and saying, oh, you only care about matters. You only care about gay people. That's not true. I care about everyone. I've been done all these videos supporting a black American influencer, Candace Owens, a straight black American influencer, Candace Owens, a straight woman, a straight black woman. I have done all these videos supporting her. And for people to still come in and say, oh, you only care about gay people. No, I don't. I'm constantly fighting for everybody. I'm constantly fighting for human rights. I'm constantly helping the Mother Earth. I have a strong passionate for Mother Earth, for protecting Mother Earth. I'm always talking about the Aaron Brockovich movie. I'm always talking about the Aaron Brockovich movie. He's trying to expose the government for dumping toxic waste, doing all the evil stuff, pollution. I'm always constantly trying to get them to release the Epstein files. I did so many videos about, release the Epstein files, release the Epstein files. They're still distracting us. Release the Epstein files. Why won't Trump release the Epstein files? I've done so many videos like that. And I'm constantly defending everyone. I'm trying to defend as many people as possible. If anyone's self-centered, if anyone's self-centered, it's this whole, oh, we only care about Charlie Kirk, but they don't care about when Australians are assassinated. They don't care when Mexicans are assassinated. They don't care when Germans are assassinated. They don't care when Cubans are assassinated. They don't care when the Japanese people were genocided in World War II. So if anyone's being selfish, and then Candace Owens grifting, oh, and Erica Kirk, oh, it feels really bad for her, send her $5. But then they come in my live stream, and then they start saying, "Oh, you only care about gay issue." No, I don't. No, I don't. In fact, I rarely talk about it. I rarely talk about what the Ohio police did to me. The horrendous stuff they did to me. I rarely talk about it. About 80% of my videos, people can see this to themselves. 80% of my videos are release the Epstein files, protect Mother Earth from pollution, um, the Charlie Kirk assassination, COVID, vaccine injuries. Like 80% of my videos are defending the people, and then maybe 20%, if even, are I'm bringing up the fact that Ohio police and part of a hate crime beat the crap out of me, stole my money, tasered me when I was innocent, and then the Ohio police deleted the body cam footage. So I hate American cops. I hate American police. I hate their guts. And the only reason I'm actually even paying attention to this Charlie Kirk assassination right now is because not only, well, first off, I'm against, I'm totally against, I'm totally against an innocent man being killed over his free speech. For sure. I am against that. That's another reason. I'm definitely against an innocent man being killed over his free speech, being assassinated. I'm totally against that. But also for the fact that Candace Owens is not just going with the, oh, like the Megyn Kelly narrative. It was a gay vegan that did it. It's like as if it's some like a Batman episode, like a Batman movie. Get him, guys. Like imagine like a Batman movie, and it was like, it was a gay vegan that did it. Okay, dun 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 dun. Send the goons out. Dun get him, guys. Like, you know what I mean? Oh, Candace Owens is not going with that stupid Megyn Kelly narrative, trying to just incite people against gays and vegans and lesbians and this and that and video gamers, and you know what I mean? Megyn Kelly's just trying to go with that mainstream narrative, right? But Candace Owens, she's like, wait a minute, doesn't look like Tyler Robinson actually did it. Candace Owens is taking the mainstream narrative, taking what the American feds say, and saying, like the fact today that Candace Owens said, Tyler's not, Tyler is wants to live. The fact that she said that, right? That's definitely a character move. That's definitely a good action. That's definitely something that will bring her good karma for her saying that, because the American government, they're constantly suiciding people, and for her to say, Tyler wants to live, that's good on Candace Owens that she did that. But keep in mind, I like to have the attitude, and I'm the first one with to point out the fact that how self-centered certain people are. You know which people I'm talking about. That when Charlie Kirk's assassinated, the Americans, the American government, the American people, they expect everyone to just come and start grifting, like we're just not grifting. They expect us to give to them, right? The United States government is like, how can we grift more? The United States government's like, they grifted off the animals with those Sarah McLachlan commercials. In the arms of the angel, donate $5 to animal charities. They grifted off of animals. The American government grifted off of abortion and etc. The American government grifted off of, oh, Hurricane Sandy, Hurricane Katrina, Hurricane Hillary, Hurricane Megan, Hurricane whatever. That, and then the United States government's, how can they grift even more? Oh, okay, do this whole conspiracy about the American feds being whatever. So the United States government, they're constantly doing all these grifting schemes, and then they expect the whole world. They expect Germans and Mexicans and Canadians and Cubans and Iranians and Japanese and Chinese. They expect all of us to just, let's drop everything we're doing and feel bad for those Americans. But did the Americans feel bad for the Japanese in World War II that were genocided? The Americans feel bad for the Australians that were assassinated? The Americans feel bad for the Japanese president that was assassinated? There was a Japanese president that was assassinated. Did Americans care? Did Americans care what happened to Canada a few years ago with the whole? There was a science center that exploded. Did the Americans care about Cuba? What happened with Cuba? You don't even know what happened to Cuba. That's what I'm saying. Did the Americans care what happened in the Middle East when they destroyed the Middle East? Like, did the Americans care about that? No. But we all must. Everyone around the world must drop everything we're doing. Canadians and Germans and Russians and Mexicans and Cubans and Venezuelans, we all must get together and just start crying and and throw money and donate to America and yeah. So that doesn't seem fair to me. So no one come in here and tell me that, oh, I only care about gay issues and I only care about other gay people. That's not true at all. That is so not true. That's like pushing my buttons. So just like Candace Owens said that it really pushed her buttons when people are accused her of being a Russian spy, because she's not a Russian spy. I mean, I don't care if people call me a Russian spy. It doesn't push my buttons. But when you call Candace Owens a Russian spy and she gets really upset, she's like, "That's not true. That's not true." She's like so upset about it. Candace Owens is like, "I can't believe people would call her a Russian spy. That's not true." Candace Owens is the most American. She's working hard for the Americans right now, right? For the American people, for the American. Well, is she working hard for the American? She's not really working hard for the American government because she's exposing the American feds, right? But Candace Owens, when someone accused her of being a Russian spy, Candace Owens was like, she was so offended by that because it's so not true, right? I mean, if people call me a Russian spy, I don't really care. It's just, well, I do care. Well, it's a joke. I'm just assuming when people call me a Russian spy, it's because they're joking, right? But anyways, so Candace Owens, on the other hand, when they called her a Russian spy, she got so offended that she took the time to address it on her show. She said she it really bugs her when people make up lies like that about her, and I agree with her. Like no one likes to be lied about, right? And so thank you, Candace Owens, for at least uh, when Megyn Kelly and all these other women they're trying to incite and say, oh, the shooter was vegan and he was a leftist and he had blue hair and he was a video gamer and he was all the other things women don't like. Women don't like video gamers. Women don't like people with blue hair. Women don't like leftists. Women don't like vegans. Women don't like vegans because vegans don't women love eating animals, right? So women don't like vegans. Women are most women, not all women, but many women are meat eaters. Women, right? Many women, not all women are meat eaters, but a lot of women are meat eaters, right? I mean, I guess Megyn Kelly's a meat eater because Megyn Kelly's like, the shooter was a vegan. And it was like as if it was like a Batman movie. Get him, guys! The shooter, like, just imagine Megyn Kelly in a Batman movie. She's like a villain, right? And she has her henchmen, she has her goons. Megyn Kelly has her own goons, right? And Megyn Kelly's like on her chair, and she's like, the shooter was a vegan, and she reports to the whole world in the media. She says the shooter was a vegan. Get him, guys! Like, dun, dun, dun. And then that's the next thing you know, everyone's swarming the vegans, right? So, basically, yeah, Candace Owens, thank God that at least, she's not like trying to incite, oh, go after this group or go after that group. Candace Owens is really trying to get to the bottom of who really assassinated Charlie Kirk. Who was really behind it? Candace Owens in this live stream. If anything, I said many positive things about her. But like I said, she's not perfect. And I'm not just going to be all one sided. I'm going to call out certain things I don't like. And what I don't like is it is a bit selfish. It is a bit selfish because she did not rally for example for that Australian couple that was murdered in Mexico. Candace Owens did not rally for that other people, for the Germans, for the Japanese, for the Japanese president that was assassinated. All of these other people around the world. Candace Owens, you know no one raised money for the Japanese president that was assassinated. No one raised money for the Australian couple that was murdered in Mexico, right? No one raised money for the French woman who she was an artist and her building her art gallery was attacked. No one raised money for those people, right? But because she's an American, because Candace Owens is an American, we all must drop everything we're doing and donate to Candace Owens, and So, like I said, no one come in my live stream and accuse me of only caring about gay people because that is so not true. Now that bugs me. Like people calling me a Russian spy, that doesn't bug me as much. No, it bugs me, but I just assume that they're joking, right? But then people coming in call saying that I only care about gay people, that is so not true. That is so not true. That really bugs me because I am the first one fighting for Mother Earth. I am fighting against pollution. I am fighting. I'm trying to get us into space. I'm trying to promote astronomy and astronauts. I don't even me being a homosexual is one small aspect of who I am. It's in fact it's an aspect that I prefer to keep private. But for the fact that I was outed in a gay witch hunt by homophobic women, probably like, oh crikey, crikey, who's the man? Oh, he don't like women, eh? Oh, he don't like women, so he must be misogynist, right? Oh, gay people. That's the other thing too. These people who think that all gay people are misogynist just because it's a preference. It's a preference. It's not it's a sexual preference. It's not a you hate women thing. It's not, oh, just because, oh, if you're gay means you don't like women. That's not true. I love women. I have women that are friends. My mother's a woman. My mother's a woman. I have friends that are women. I might even had an older sister that's a woman. Well, how could you say that? Oh, if you're gay, that means you don't like women. That is such a lie. Oh, if you're gay, that means you're a misogynist. You must not like women. That's such a lie. So that woman that came in when I wasn't even really talking about homophobia, and she comes in the other day and says, "Oh, you're a misogynist. Don't accuse people of being homophobic when you're a misogynist." What? What are you talking about? You think that all people, gay people, are misogynists? You think that just because a man is gay, that means he hates women? That's not true at all. You know how many Mariah Carey albums I listen to? I love Celine Dion. I love Mariah. I love people who can sing, not Taylor Swift. Taylor Swift is garbage. She can't sing. But you know how many Mariah Carey, Carrie Underwood albums I listen to? You know how many women that I worked for? My bosses were women. A lot of my bosses were women. In fact, my handler, not handler, sorry, my what's it called? My manager is a woman at the bookstore that I work at. She's a woman. And even the CEO is like, or not the CEO. The bookstore doesn't have a CEO, but like the boss, right? So, what? That is such a lie. That's a vicious lie. That is a vicious lie. Gay men are constantly supporting women. We love women. There's so many gay men that love women, and especially why we love to hang around women is because beautiful women like Scarlett Johansson, they got beautiful husbands, right? uh no, but we're not just hanging around beautiful women just to get to their husbands. No, of course that's not the only reason. We also love hanging around women because we like to be friends with women, okay? We like to be friends with women. In fact, a lot of, when I was learning Russian all those years, I had to watch female teachers. I'll tell you why. Because I couldn't concentrate sometimes when I was watching the Russian the male men teachers, right? The Russian professors, the Russian professor was a Russian accent, right? Really strong, tall, and I was surprised he was a teacher. He seemed more like a lumberjack, right? Really manly of a man, really manly guy. I was surprised he was a Russian teacher. He seemed more like a lumberjack, and I couldn't really concentrate watching him. But the Russian women, I can concentrate watching Russian women. I can concentrate, but a lot of straight guys, Russian women. See, that's why Russian women have the edge, right? Russian spies, all these female Russian spies, because when straight men talk to Russian women, they can't concentrate, right? And then the Russian women, it's like the straight guy becomes like putty in the Russian woman's arms, right? Then the Russian woman can use her feminine charm. The Russian woman can seduce the straight guy, and the next thing you know, that American FBI agent, that guy, he suddenly tells all the FBI secrets to the Russian spy, right? Like, for example, Anna Chapman, that famous Russian spy in America who got all of these Americans to tell her secrets. All of these FBI agents, they all thought she was so hot, this Russian spy, and then she got all these male FBI agents to tell her secrets. That wouldn't happen to me. I mean, Russian women don't have any charm on me, right? Russian guys do, but not Russian women. I mean, if it was a hot Russian military soldier guy and he was trying to get secrets out of me, I would probably give up the secrets because I have I have I'm a virgin and I don't want to be a virgin forever. But Russian women, I don't have that problem with Russian women. So all of these straight guys who would like straight military guys, straight American military guys who would probably just hand over all of these secrets to a beautiful Russian woman, to a beautiful Russian spy. I wouldn't have that problem because I can't be seduced by a Russian woman because I'm gay. I'm a homosexual. And so Russian women can't seduce me like that, right? So I definitely have, and Russian women, they probably are very threatened by that. They see that as a major issue for me. If they actually even take me seriously as a counterintelligence operative, which I don't think they do. But like, let's say, for example, Russian spies, female Russian spies, let's say they actually did take me seriously as a counterintelligence operative, a gay Canadian counterintelligence operative against Russia. Well, I'm not against Russia, but you know what I mean. Let's say Russian women actually took me seriously as a counterintelligence operative. Well, they probably would be very threatened by the fact that, or they would feel very not threatened. That's not the right word to use. The right word to say they feel very annoyed by the fact that they can't just like use their feminine charm to get whatever they want. They can't just get me to just do whatever they want, right? They could a Russian straight or a American straight guy. If it was an American straight counterintelligence operative, they would probably fall right into that Russian woman's arms, right? So Russia has a history of using beautiful Russian women to manipulate men. Beautiful Russian women manipulate men, they seduce men, they get them to cheat on their wives. There's been many cases actually of married American men who are married to big American women. You know what I mean? And so many American men have cheated on their American wives with beautiful Russian women, right? Not with me. I mean, these beautiful American men, these tall, strong, masculine American men, they're not cheating on their American wives with a gay guy. No, they're cheating on their American wives with a beautiful Russian woman. So these American guys are cheating on their these American guys, these American husbands, a lot of them are cheating on their American wives with a beautiful Russian spy, a beautiful Russian woman, right? So Russian women, they are able to use their feminine wiles. They use their feminine. Uh, they're able to use their femininity. Russian women are able to use uh, they're able to seduce, right? So Russian women, they're able to seduce all of these men, these American men. But Russian women, Russian spies, they can't do that to me because I'm gay. I'm gay, honey. And I don't care. Like your Russian woman could be like, oh, I was seduce him, right? And then the Russian woman comes over, she does all her tricks, right? She's like, okay, oh, if you tell me where the location is of the lab in Canada, then I will, she's trying to seduce me, and I'm just like, nah, doesn't work on me. I'm a homosexual guy. Like, I don't, yeah. And then she'd probably get frustrated, the Russian spy. She'd probably get frustrated. It'd be like, oh, we can't, he's gay. He's not responding to my beautiful Russian. Do you remember that Austin Powers movie with, it was funny. It was an Austin Powers movie. It was the female was Kristen Johnson. She was playing a Russian spy in one of the Austin Power movies, and they were playing chess. Russians love to play chess. In fact, I just watched another video of one of those YouTuber vlogger videos in Russia, Moscow, where they walk around and they show people playing chess. So Russians love to play chess. So in an Austin Powers movie, I think it was Austin Powers 3. I'm not sure. It was either Austin Powers 1 or 2 or 3. Anyways, so one of the Austin Powers movies, he's playing chess with this Russian spy. She's a Russian spy. And she's like trying to seduce Austin Powers while they're playing chess. And she's like taking the chess pieces. And this was played by Kristen Johnson, who's a really good actress. She's really funny. Kristen Johnson from Third Rock from the Sun. You know Third Rock from the Sun, where it was a bunch of actors. There were a bunch of, it was like the premise of Third Rock was from the Sun okay, so the premise of Third Rock from the Sun was a sitcom where they were like aliens. They were aliens pretending to be everyday Americans, right? So Kristen Johnson, she was mainly famous for Third Rock from the Sun. Then she also played a Russian spy in an Austin Powers movie where she was using chess pieces to try to seduce Austin Powers. Really funny, right? And then also, which by the way, that guy, what's the guy's name from Third Rock from the Sun? That actor also played Edward Snowden in the movie. Do you know the Edward Snowden movie where they did a whole movie about Edward Snowden? The actor from Third Rock from the Sun, he also played Edward Snowden in the movie. So, anyways, Kristen Johnson was just hilarious as a Russian spy, and she's using her Russian sex appeal as a woman to try to seduce Austin Powers, right? And it was really funny. So yeah, Russian women, they do that constantly. They seduce married American men. They seduce married American husbands. They seduce them, and then they get all this type of information out of them. They collect all this information. So right now, as Americans, the main point of this live stream was to remind people that while everyone's distracted, while everyone's heated in debates over the Charlie Kirk assassination, while people are distracted is a perfect opportunity for espionage, perfect opportunity for Russian agents, Russian spies, Chinese spies, especially Chinese spies, to go in while everyone's distracted because no one's paying attention to Russian spies right now, right? No one's paying attention to Chinese spies. What? Not that no one's paying attention to Chinese spies, but just not there everyone's more or less distracted, right? Everyone's distracted with the Charlie Kirk assassination, what happened to Charlie Kirk, right? Everyone's distracted, and when there's this big distraction events like the Charlie Kirk assassination, that's the opportunity for Russian spies, Chinese spies to go in, seduce American military soldiers, seduce the enemy, and get. Sorry, someone just severed our connection. I just came back. So hopefully it's connected. So basically, the point of the live stream I just want to say was while everyone's distracted with the Charlie Kirk assassination stuff, while everyone's distracted with that, of course, researching what really happened to Charlie Kirk, the finding the real assassin, very important. But what I'm just saying is also watch out while everyone's distracted. It's the perfect opportunity for Chinese spies, Russian spies to go in and to hack and to while everyone's distracted and Russian spies, it's a perfect opportunity, Chinese spies to go in and try to steal that secret, valuable American information. That's the main point that I want to say. So